The New York Giants now have the best defensive line in the NFL by selecting edge rusher Abdul Carter amongst a already gifted pass rush group with Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns. Ryan, how does Abdul Carter fit with this Giants defensive line?
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind, Joe, is this is a incredibly deep edge group now, right? Like you have Kayvon Thibodeau, you have Brian Burns. I'm kind of curious to see if one of those guys might be on the move in the future. Like that'll be something to kind of keep an eye on. But if they have all three next year, there is no more potent 1 to 3 edge pass rush group in the NFL than this group now. Abdul Carter, obviously the twitchy, explosive one-year starter as an edge after playing linebacker for Penn State. I love the upside and the impact that he can have immediately in New York, and just thinking what he can be in a year or two from now when he is more acclimated to the edge is pretty dang exciting for the New York Giants.
It's going to be nuts seeing him worked into the mix with this group, and anyone who's been a Giants fan for a long period of time knows that during their Super Bowl runs, they had not just 2 great pass rushers, they had 3-4 guys deep. They had really deep defensive lines, and they rotated pass rushers, which allowed for them to wreak havoc. So hopefully they figure out their quarterback. I don't know who that's going to be, but this pick for Abdul Carter for the Giants has solidified that they have the scariest pass rush. Ryan, if you had to grade this selection, what would you give it?
I might give it an A, and here's the reason why. I'm almost to an A+, because I do think that Abdul Carter was just strictly the best player available. He was my top overall player in the class, and you got value there at pick 3, taking the best overall player in the class. But the only question I do have, Joe, we already kind of hit on it, is it is a very deep room, right? Like there is a conversation that needs to be had of like, was that your biggest need versus the best player available conversation? I'm okay with it, obviously, which is why I'm going to give it an A grade. But I am curious to see just how that room meshes together. I mean, there's a reality where this is the most potent pass rush in the NFL. There's also a reality where 1 or 2 of the guys don't really mesh together well, just from a on-field perspective. So there's a little bit of a wait and see to it, but I'm giving it an A because, in my opinion, you got the best player in the draft at pick number 3 for the Giants.
I'm going to be a lot stricter on these grades than you are. I'm also giving this a B+. Abdul Carter was my highest graded prospect in the class, but if we look at what the Giants' needs were, they had needs at way many other positions. Now, it doesn't help them that where they were sitting at 3, they couldn't really address any of those. They couldn't draft a quarterback at number 3. They couldn't draft a corner at number 3. They couldn't draft another wide receiver. Maybe they could have gone offensive line here, but that also would have probably been a reach. They had to go with best available. You can't go wrong with best available, which means they get that B+, and you now have the most gifted player in the class, but we have to figure out what to do with the group. Yeah. Is the fact that this group is so talented enough to make up for the rest of the deficiencies on the roster and the rest of their defense? That remains to be seen. Folks, let us know in the comments below. Do you like this pick for the Giants? Hit that like button and subscribe. We'll be back with more.